Have you ever noticed something strange? The talent, intelligence, creativity you had as a child. Where did they go? At a time when you hadn't even learned how to think about yourself, you were already being asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? And your answer back then wasn't really yours. It was borrowed from parents, from relatives, from society. It was acceptable. Today, adults, we still choose to become what others tell us to be instead of what we truly want. Slowly, silently, we give up on ourselves. School, we learn many things: formulas, definitions, explanations, most of them memorized. Strangely enough, are never taught how to learn by ourselves, memorizing, not copying, but truly learning. And this one missing skill, small gap, decides who moves forward and fade away. Today, let's talk about one of the most powerful skills of our time, that is self-education. Skills that classroom will never teach you. Look at real life. Names: Leonardo da Vinci, Abraham Lincoln, and Benjamin Franklin. None of them followed a fixed syllabus. They followed curiosity, and they are not alone. In the modern world, we see the same pattern again. Steve Jobs learned calligraphy out of curiosity, and that single interest changed the design of computers forever. They didn't wait to be taught, they chose to learn. Now imagine this: your final exams are over, books are closed, the worlds keep changing. But life doesn't stop. New skills, new technologies, new problems. In simple words, self education means learning by choice, not by force. It begins with curiosity, with questions, with the courage to say, I don't know yet, but I will
I
learn.
have a question.
Our education system was designed for another era, a time when information was rare, when memorization mattered. But today, information is everywhere, yet understanding is rare. And still, most students are trained only to pass exams, not to ask questions.
I have a question.
Think of two students, both attend the same college, same teachers, same exams. One studies only what is taught in class. The other explores, watching lectures online, reading books, building small projects, failing quietly. 4 years later, the difference is invisible on paper but obvious in real life, because self education doesn't just teach subjects, it teaches how to think. The world no longer rewards obedience. It rewards adaptability. Degrees lose relevance, but the ability to learn that never becomes outdated. Self education is what allows ordinary people to do extraordinary things. It gives you freedom to learn anything, anytime, anywhere. Learning becomes joy, not pressure. Ideas are born, shaped, and turned into action. And with every step forward, motivation grows, quietly increasing your chances of creating a better tomorrow. Now, let's be fair. Schools are not useless. They give structure, discipline, foundations. But here is the mistake we make. We treat school as the end of learning instead of the beginning. Formal education builds the base, but self education builds the future. What does this mean for you? It means your growth is no longer limited by your teachers, your institution, or your syllabus. Your biggest advantage today is not talent, it's initiative. Every book you read voluntarily, every skill you learn without being told, every question you ask that wasn't in the exam. That's self education shaping your life. One day your marks will stop mattering. Your certificates will fade into the background. But what you taught yourself, that will stay. Because in the real life, there is no syllabus and no final exam. So, the question is very simple. If self education is powerful, how you can actually do it? Not random YouTube watching, not motivational quotes, but real, practical self education. It begins with one clear decision. What skill will matter in the next 5 years? What subject genuinely interests me? And what problem do I want to solve? Clarity reduces distraction. Without direction, curiosity becomes noise. Watching videos feels productive, but understanding comes from action. Instead of only consuming, take notes in your own words. Build something small, solve real problems, teach the concept back to yourself. If you cannot explain it simply, you haven't learned it deeply. Self education accelerates when learning becomes visible. Write blogs, create content, build small apps, share ideas, project, create proof. Project show ability. Motivation fades, system stay. Even 1 hour daily of focused learning compounds dramatically over a year. You need 25 minutes of deep focus and again repeat it more. Small consistency defeats rare intensity. Self-education is not about agreeing with information. It is about questioning it. Why does this work? What is the source? Is there another perspective? Curiosity without questioning becomes limitation. Curiosity with analysis becomes intelligence. Self education is not expensive. It is not reserved for elites. It requires three things: time, discipline, and initiative. And today, in the age of the internet, the barrier is no longer access to information. The barrier is focus. When you start choosing to learn, that is the moment your education truly begins. If this video made you pause and think, share it with someone who is still waiting to be taught, because the most important lessons are the ones you choose to learn yourself.